Hey guys, welcome to Manifesting Better. I'm back with another video and another topic that needs to be addressed. I also have an Instagram account, the link for that is in the description box below. Coaching is also available, the link for that too is in the description box below.
Hey guys, hope you're well. So I'm back with another video and this is a manifestation Q&A. So I know a lot of you look forward to this. I think a week or two back I posted this Q&A on my Instagram. So if you haven't still followed me there, go and you can follow me. The link is in the bio, where I posted a Q&A box and I mentioned that I will be covering all questions in my video. So I will directly get into this and yeah, some answers might be slightly triggering, but I'm nothing if not always honest, and I'm nothing if not always consistent with my honesty. So let's get into it. Let's understand everything. So the first question: not caring anymore about my desires, but still wanting it, being calm and sure it's going to happen. What does it mean? First thing that you have to understand is most of the times when people come into the journey of manifestation, their desire as a start in itself is coming from urgency, right? I know that a lot of people get into self help because they want to get into self help, but a lot of times people get into self help, majority of the times, is because they are running away from something. So, what happens is when we are obsessed towards something to a very great degree and we start working on ourselves, what we used to call desire was a mixture of that obsession, that need, that feeling of rejection, that desperation, that urgency, which now we are starting to let go of. Because the more we are working on ourselves, the more we are realizing that that part, that identity is something we don't want to hold on to anymore. Because that is something we realize, we put ourselves in a very good position in our life. So the whole desire changes because now it starts to come from a place of power. It should be a preference in the first place. It shouldn't be a need, right? Because if it's a need, then it's probably not coming from a fully healthy place. Realizing that makes you realize that once you start working on yourself, the desire and the intensity of it might get calmer. Not because you stop wanting it, but because you stop needing it and you stop being desperate because of it. So it's not a bad thing, it's actually a great thing. Next question: how to not get obsessed with your manifestation? For this, we first need to understand why do we get obsessed with something in the first place. There are multiple reasons because of which we get obsessed with our manifestations. First reason usually is because of a lack of self-worth, a poor self-concept. We don't know maybe that we deserve more. We don't know what we should deserve. So an example would be someone who gets obsessed in a relationship. A lot of times it makes them, the reason that they get obsessed is because they don't know what is normal in a relationship. They don't know what normally love should feel like because they haven't ever experienced it before. They don't know how relationships are supposed to be because maybe their parents did not have a great relationship, and as they grew up, that is what they learned and they did not understand that it is supposed to be that way. Or maybe they were bullied in school and they consistently were told that they are not good enough or no one will like them, or maybe their parents told them, or maybe their sibling told them, and they started to believe it. So when someone came in their life and they started rejecting them, they thought that this is normal, so they kept chasing it still. There are multiple reasons why we get obsessed with our manifestation. The answer to how to not be obsessed is to find out why we are obsessed in the first place and specifically work on that, which will differ from situation to situation and person to person. Next question: how to get the will power of taking actions and keeping consistency? Willpower is not the way to keep consistency. Consistency is being built up by habits. I recently posted a video where I talked about why you are inconsistent, and then I posted a video where I talked about how to be consistent. So you can check those videos out. They are, I think, one or two videos before only, and you will check it out and you will be able to find the answer of this there. Next question: how do mother and father wounds affect your relationships? So for people who don't know what these mean, I will give you the simplest answer possible. Mother and father wounds are basically things and past conditionings that we develop from our parents, their childhood, their behavior, and our childhood with them, our behavior with them, and our lives with them, even now, their relationship with other people, our relationship with them, their relationship between themselves, right? The definitions and the conditions that we develop from all these things that define our life a particular way based on all these things is what we call these wounds. The reason we call these wounds is because a lot of times we develop some unhealthy parts of what they want us to think or what they have thought and they pass on to us in some way, which we carry. For example, someone has a very bad father figure in her life and they kept ignoring her. They will consistently keep thinking that men will always ignore me because that is what my father did. Someone who has a mother wound can probably be someone who did not actually maybe saw his mother actually be kind to him. So they will this guy will consistently keep thinking that women being kind to me is actually a gift, not a normal thing, which is because of which they will keep pedestalizing it. How it affects our life right now and our manifestation and relationships is because those definitions are the definitions we carry forward in our life now. Because those are the definitions we carry forward in our life now, we keep acting on those and we keep sabotaging our relationships, which is not really helpful. Next one. I have waves of sadness while manifesting SP. What does that mean? So you have to understand that if you are manifesting a person, that means that there is some form of hurt that is involved there, right? Maybe you guys broke up, maybe you wanted something more and they didn't offer it, maybe you don't even fully know each other properly, whatever the situation is, right? You have to understand that while you are manifesting a new relationship, let's assume it's an ex, right? If you are manifesting a new relationship, you still will have to let go of the old one, and that new relationship is not going to mask the pain that you got from the old one. Understanding and accepting that is the first step towards change, because a lot of times we are in pain, and that is the reason why we just keep going after manifesting this thing, because we want this pain to end and we don't know how to end it, and we think that if this thing comes back, this pain will go away. But this thing coming back will not solve my problem, it will only just mask the problem. So this random wave of sadness is very normal, because when a relationship ends, it ends. You feel weird, you feel down, you feel that something was taken away from me, you feel shattered. No matter if you get this person back in your life or not, this pain is not just going to go away. That will always be a part of your life. You will have to accept and embrace and move ahead with it. So I accept that this pain is right now a part of my life, but that does not mean that it forever will be. Next question. Can you recommend some books on self sabotage? Definitely. What I would recommend is first start with the book The Mountain Is You. Then there is a book, The Courage to Be Disliked. These two books I would definitely recommend, especially if you are someone who's starting into this and have some knowledge. So if you're watching my videos, you already have a lot of knowledge about self sabotage. But if you want that in a basically combined way and compiled way, then you can go with these books. Next question. How to not get triggered by words like toxic, crazy when you have read them and you have been called them before? This answer is something that you're not going to like. A lot of times you are the toxic partner in a relationship. Here, I said it. I have been the toxic partner in some of my relationships too. And most of the times, any relationship, when it ends, it's not because of one person. It's because there are multiple factors where these relationships end, right? So there are multiple factors how relationship ends, and usually there are two people involved in it. If I genuinely see these things and I get triggered by it, the probability is that there is some sense of truth to it. How to not be triggered by it? Accept that I might be toxic. That's fine. Acceptance is the first part towards growth. Who isn't toxic to a certain degree in some situation, right? I have been toxic. I might still act toxic in some ways. Who knows, right? Just like everyone else has showcased toxic behavior. So you are not alone. Like everyone has showcased toxic behavior in their life. Accepting that and working on changing that is the only way that you will not be triggered by it. Next question. What is happiness and success to you? Oh, beautiful question. I have thought about this while I was making this video. I thought that I will answer this question in a candid way, right? That I will not script or plan. I don't script or plan any of my videos. But I thought about this a little bit. And the best definition of happiness that I could come up with is happiness for me is to be able to make my loved ones happy. And the only way I know to make my loved ones happy is to make myself happy and successful and peaceful. Because if I become that, when I say successful, I mean peaceful, calm, strong, mentally powerful, all these things. Because I know if I'm that, then I am able to handle and help my parents, help my family, help my girlfriend, help you guys, help my clients in thousands of ways. What is success to me? Success to me is being able to fulfill my own standards. I recently read this quote from Naval Ravikant. He said, "You don't want fame, you want respect. Respect comes from doing what they expect you to do. You don't want respect, you want self-respect. Self-respect comes from doing what you think you should do." So that has been a game changer. Next question. Can we completely manifest a different version of our SP? My question to that would be, if you are visiting London, for example, would you go to London, or would you say, I will visit US, but I will manifest US being like London? A lot of times we just want a particular person because we have developed so much attachment towards that we just want the same face but a totally different person. But a good question to ask yourself should be is, if I completely want to change the person, then why do I want this specific person in the first place? Now I know this is a very triggering answer, but a genuine critical thinking question to ask yourself. And if I don't want to change the whole person, then why am I even asking and worrying about this question, right? Definitely, people change always. I am someone who supports the concept of manifesting a specific person, I think, the most. But you need to ask yourself that if I completely want to change a person from top to bottom, why even go after that person? Like, what is making me then go after this person? If I don't like anything about them, then why am I actually going after them? Understand that a lot of times we just want the other person to act a particular way so that they can soothe our insecurities, and we don't want to deal with it ourselves. Even if we are manifesting a person, most of the times if you work on yourself, you wouldn't want to change that much about that person in the first place, because you would realize that there is a reason I fell in love with them was because of their uniqueness. And if I am not in love with that, then why am I actually going after that in the first place? So, getting that clarity, asking these triggering questions to yourself, which require honesty, is very important. Next question: how did my SP go from chasing me last year to a complete opposite this year? A better question to ask yourself should be is, when my SP was chasing me, who I was, and how did I start to transform and become a different version of me as they started showing me attention? Last question for the day: how is the why important? The only answer I have is that it makes me feel good. The why is important because our time is valuable. Because there are thousands of things in this world that will make you feel good, but the only reason that you keep going after them is just because it feels good, is not good enough, a good enough reason, at least according to me, to spend your time and effort towards going after something. I will give you an example. Eating a piece of chocolate can make me feel good, but does that mean that it's a correct thing? Does that mean I should all day eat chocolate? Maybe someone makes me angry, and going and slapping them will make me feel good. Does that mean I should just go and slap them? The difference between animals and humans are that humans have the ability to be consciously aware, which means we can take our decisions and we can take calls based on those decisions. We need to understand that, and we need to understand that our why is important, because if I'm going to spend a lot of time and effort and money and energy and feelings going after something, I should have a backing and a reason behind it. Because sometimes we just keep going after something because of some past conditioning inside of us that is telling us that that is the best that I can get, or that all the reasons that I shared of why we might be obsessed. So understanding that is very helpful. I don't mean to tell you that you shouldn't go after your dreams. I just mean to tell you that you need to actually understand that there is one thing in this world that you're not getting back, which is your time. And your value towards that is very crucial and important. So I hope this video helps, and I hope it was able to answer your questions. If you have any more questions, you can leave them down in the comments below. I will try to make another video out of it, or I weekly put Q&A boxes on my Instagram. I either cover them there or here on my YouTube channel. So you can follow me there and you can put the questions there. So I will see you guys in the next one.
Click the like button if you liked the video. Subscribe and turn the notifications on for more such content. Comment down your video suggestions and I will see you guys in the next one.